Hello and welcome back. My first guest here today is Sanjay Huprikar. He's the IPC Director for Europe, aren't you, Sanjay?
I am, thank you.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Now, IPC's doing a huge number of things in Europe at the moment.
We are.
You're extremely active, which I'm really pleased to see.
We are too.
Because you're getting the ear of government, which is important.
Very much so.
So tell me some of the things that you've been doing on the advocacy level in Brussels and beyond.
Sure. As everyone is well aware, the EMS industry and the PCB industry doesn't really have a pan-European advocate.
Right.
So we have positioned ourselves to be that advocate.
Mm-hmm.
As everyone knows, we had some role in the CHIPS Act.
Yep.
And the reason we took that role is because we saw that as a great opportunity, not only to boost European electronics, obviously semiconductors is a big piece of it, but we saw an opportunity to communicate and convey to the government the importance of the other things that are happening in electronics beyond just semiconductors.
Right.
So PCB and EMS, materials,
Mhm.
those are all very important pieces.
Yes.
Without any of those things, you can't do anything with the chips that they want to produce in Europe. And that's the
Right.
message that we've been sending the government. And they've been relying on us now more so in 2023 than any other year in the past to kind of be that voice for the electronics industry, not just the semiconductor industry,
Right.
but the electronics
Well,
industry.
as I said earlier today, I mean, it's been a learning curve for them as well.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so
it's an education for us.
Right.
It's an education for them as well.
yes, absolutely. So that's important. But there's so many other things affecting the industry as well at the moment. You know, in Europe, there's a big push of course, on ESG and sustainability.
Right.
We've also got the same challenges as you have in the US with some of the labor markets trying to find skilled labor.
That's right. That's right.
I know, for example, in the US that you've been doing a lot with STEM programs.
Yep.
Have you been doing anything on this side of the water with that?
Well, we're learning what is required here. I would say that 2023 has been a year from the workforce development side in Europe, where we have more feedback now as to what those needs are.
Right.
Certainly, there's still a lot of operator-centric programs that we can do. The challenge we have in Europe with operator-centric programs, though, is you have to create them in local language.
Right.
That's right.
That's
As
correct.
the industry is moving east, we see more opportunities in places like Romania, Serbia, Bulgaria. Well, we normally don't translate our standards and educational tools in those languages. So this is again where the intersection of government helps.
Mhm.
If we can find and source funding to help us translate those programs into those languages,
Right.
that opens up a bigger opportunity for the industry to have more workers engaged with IPC.
Absolutely.
On the sustainability side, which I
Mhm.
think is something you mentioned
Yep.
as well. So we created a leadership council for sustainability. It's a global council,
Okay.
but it's made up of several European companies as well.
Mhm.
Everyone is struggling with what do we do first in terms of sustainability for electronics?
Yeah.
You know, there's CO2 emissions. There's workforce has a component of it. There's a human rights aspect to it.
Right.
Where do we start? And I think having a leadership council kind of help us see what the priorities are,
Mhm.
prioritize what some of the choices could be.
Yes.
And that's an area that we're focused on in 2023 and in 2024.
Yes. No, it's becoming, it's really risen up the ranks in terms of importance very quickly because, on the stock level price, a lot of companies are looking and analyzing companies' ESG and sustainability records, and when they're making their investment choices.
Right.
So it's become really, really important.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed that you've been involved a lot with some of the major contract manufacturers over on this side.
We have.
How have you found that? I mean, and have you found any differences between working with their counterparts in the US? I mean, what's your takeaway on that?
I'm going to throw my U.S. colleagues or my U.S. Members under the bus a little bit.
Okay.
It's been a joy working with the contract manufacturers and even the PCB fabricators here in Europe.
Right.
They're very open to having an association like ours, global in nature, but acting very specifically on local issues.
Yes.
So we've had a lot of different networking events with them. We've had get-togethers with them, talking about some of the key issues. A basic thing, and you know this, Trevor, better than anybody, is a lot of them here in Europe feel like they're disrespected because they do a lion's share of the work and they get no credit whatsoever. So anything we can do to kind of showcase the good work that they're doing for the media, for the politicians, even for the public, to show the importance of EMS, to show the importance of PCB, and how those are two important entities that matter for electronics, is a service that we're doing on behalf of our membership. And I think that's what's opened them up a little bit to us is we're really trying to do something for them.
Yeah, I think one of the big changes I see, differences, should I say, between the contract manufacturers here and in the States is that they seem to be more open here to bringing in new technologies and being more open to different types of engineering.
Absolutely.
Maybe because they come from a more engineering kind of background here. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But in the US, I find that they're quite resistant to change, and they wait for their OEMs to tell them they have to change.
Yeah. And I think you hit on it well. I think the Europeans come very much from an engineering background. They like to view things from a scientific point of view.
Yeah.
They're very much more rational about the decisions that they're making.
Yeah.
Probably less emotional than other places.
Yeah.
And I think that works well when you're dealing with us, predominantly a standards development organization where science is everything for us.
Of course. No, I think you're doing a fantastic job here, Sanjay. You've got something coming up, I believe, at the end of the month, which I'm trying to get to, or you're working with them. Arno Kolk, I think, up in Estonia. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah. So every year we work with the Estonian Electronics Association and also Dieter Weiss's organization Informa to do an EMS executive event. Yeah. And that's happening in Tallinn at the end of November, the beginning of December this year.
Excellent.
So right after we finish here, we are shifting gears and working up there.
Great. Well, I'm hoping to make it up there. So
great.
We'll see you there.
All
but I want to thank you for coming in today and giving us an update on what's happening with IPC.
My pleasure.
Europe.
Thanks for inviting us.
Thank you. Okay, good. So coming up after the break, we're going to be speaking to Keith Bryant from SMTA Europe. Okay.
Without reliability, with reliability, a world of difference. Welcome on the journey to better reliability outcomes.
And welcome back. Delighted to be joined by Keith Bryant now, who has got his SMTA Europe hat on today. So welcome, Keith.
Thank you, Trevor.
So SMTA basically made an agreement with the old Smart Group that used to be in Europe about, I'm thinking 3 or 4 years ago now. You've been involved in that from the beginning. Tell us a little bit about it and what do you think, how do you think that developed? Has it developed more into a European type of association? Because Smart Group was pretty much UK only, wasn't it?
Yeah, Smart Group was UK and Ireland, and it was almost 7 years ago, Trevor.
7 years ago,
Yep.
My goodness.
But yeah, we wanted to get a little bit more visibility, and it was hard to run as let's say, a unique organization in the UK and Ireland when a lot of the manufacturing had gone offshore, and we were, to be honest, not having the membership that we did. So yeah, I talked to Tanya and the team at the SMTA, and out of that, SMTA Europe was born. And since then, we've steadily been growing membership, not only in the UK and Ireland, but through the manufacturing hubs in Europe as well.
Right. Now, you must have seen some value coming out of it too, because I mean, you're also involved in the SMTA's international technical committee board for the big conference in the States. So presumably you get some takeaways or get some other people to input or contribute to some of the events that you're putting on here.
Yeah, we do that in a strong way. And yeah, I'm also on the committee for PanPac and a couple of others as well. And yeah, we tend to be able to pull speakers from the US, which obviously in the Smart Group days was a lot of a harder mission.
Right.
And we have a counterfeit conference happening at the MTC soon. and a lot of the speakers are coming from the US, where there is a lot more, let's say, knowledge of counterfeits and a lot more up-to-date, up-to-the-minute stuff of what's happening. And you've got people like Kolk over there who are really focused on counterfeiting, and they're bringing that knowledge over to I mean, we get attendees from all of Europe, so it's not just people coming to the UK. So,
Right.
That makes a big difference, and it adds a lot of value to the membership, and that's one of the reasons why the membership continues to steadily grow.
Yeah, absolutely. And you picked up quite a few members over here in mainland Europe, haven't you? I mean, it's from Germany and other places.
Yeah, and we have a conference coming up next year in Budapest. We're hoping to partner with the Electro guys that put on the big Eastern Europe conference, and maybe we're going to run a session there on technology, or they're also talking about maybe cleaning and coding. So we'll run a technology session within their event.
Okay, great.
So that also helps to spread the word and get everybody aware of what's happening. And on a global note, we're trying to get the global members to put forward European people to be part of their, let's say, links for all of the email shots that go out and everything else.
Okay.
So we're really covering all the bases.
Great. Well, it's a great grassroots association. There's always, when you get together, there's always lots of camaraderie there, that's for sure. But I'm glad to see that it's you're growing over here and keeping involved with the industry.
Yeah, it's, as I say, it's a good group so far. We have a good technical committee, and we really managed to pull together some events that everybody walks away from pleased, and if you were part of it, you're proud of it. And for me, that's everything that matters. And yeah, we just need to keep growing the membership, and then we can start organizing more events.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, great to see. So thank you for giving us an update on that. I know you're going to be participating in one of our panel discussions shortly, so I'll say thank you for that, and we'll be back in a few minutes with the first of our panel discussions from Productronica.
For micro dispensing, there is one product line that is proven and trusted by manufacturers in semiconductor packaging, electronics assembly, medical device, and electromechanical assembly the world over. DL Technology, superior pumps and needles for the finer things in life.
Azemtech, as a part of Nano Dimension, is a company that specializes in the development, manufacturing, and distribution of equipment for electronics production. Our focus is on providing innovative solutions, helping the electronics manufacturers optimizing their production processes, increase their efficiency, and achieve high-quality results. Our products include pick-and-place machines, dispensing solutions, solder-paste jet printers, and reflow ovens.